To celebrate the opportunity to vote on Prop 64, the Adult Use of Marijuana Act, on November 8th. We're so excited that this could be the culmination of so many people's hard work. There's so many people here today who've brought us to this point where I can see Chris and I have been doing this for 27 years. So for us, you can see the light. The light came out for us today even. So it was a good omen, and it was even drizzled a little, creating a little fertility to this issue. So I just wanted to thank you all for coming. We're so excited that this is going to be a new age after November 8th. We hope that people will get out of prison. We hope that adults can freely be who they are. Cannabis consumers can come out of the closet and stand up for our equal rights and continue to work for our equal rights, because it's not over yet, even if Prop 64 passes. But anyway, we're hoping that you'll all get involved and join us in bringing it over the finish line on November 8th. And okay, so let me just thank some people today. I'd like to acknowledge George Zimmer. Where is he? Thank you, George. George was a sponsor of this, the catering, and thank you to the caterers, Jim and Blair and Jacqueline. And thank you to everybody who brought food as well and drinks. We appreciate that. Mary Pat and Kumari for helping us getting this whole thing together. And I just want to thank all the people who've worked so long and hard on this issue, because it really took a lot of us. Took so much effort, so much hard work for so many years to get to this point. So I just want to acknowledge all of your efforts as well. And to the people who didn't make it to this point with us, our former partner, Virginia, she's always with us. And, so many people who have worked hard and didn't get to see it. Maybe they're working it from the other side. That's what I'm thinking. I also want to acknowledge Supervisor Nate Miley from Alameda County. He's been such a strong ally and support that has really gotten things going on the political end. And he's always been a friend to us. Thank you so much for coming, and Tony as well. And anyway, I'm going to have... You want to say something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have not wanted to say something. I'm not sure. Maybe once or twice. But anyway, I would like to start off with, do you like marijuana? Yeah! Do you want to legalize marijuana? Yeah! How are you going to vote on Prop 64? Yeah! Well, now you all say, yes, I'm with you. We've been doing this for a long time. I was always a political activist. Since I was a little kid, I started doing work against the Ku Klux Klan in grammar school. So I believe in political activism, and I believe in voting. And it was in 1988 that all my political activism changed into a focus when I had an argument with some other activists in Los Angeles, California. This is at Ronald Reagan's end of his presidency and the beginning of the Bush presidency. As outside, we had just passed insurance law reform as an initiative in the state of California. And nobody said we could do that. In fact, they said you're not going to be able to do that. And we did it. And so out in the parking lot, we were smoking a victory joint. And so I said to these guys, why are we out here smoking a joint like we're hiding it? Let's legalize marijuana next. Everybody said, you'll never do it. They said it's impossible. They said if you try to do that, you'll destroy your reputation and you will wind up looking like an idiot. And marijuana prohibition is here to stay. And I said to them, I bet I can come up with a way of legalizing marijuana. And so from that I came up with a BAC, and there's 4 parts of BAC. Restore industrial hemp, legalize medical marijuana with the doctor's approval, allow people to grow their own and share with their neighbors, and regulate an industry. That was election day in 1988. Here we are in 2016. And there's a ballot measure you mightn't have heard about. It legalizes marijuana and lets people grow and share with their neighbors. It creates a regulated system for marijuana. It keeps our medical marijuana system in place, and it allows farmers to grow industrial hemp. Every once in a while people say, so why do you support this initiative? Wouldn't you rather have one that you had written yourself or one of the other 16 that were out there last year? And what I say is, you know what, this is not the initiative I would have written. And there were other initiatives that I looked at that I liked equally well. But I've been debating around the state on this for a while now, and one of the things that I found out is that this is a great initiative. Because, you know, when the right-wingers attack me, their answers to their questions, yes, it will protect children, yes, it will keep impaired drivers off of the road, yes, it's a strictly regulated system that's not going to allow for out-of-state sales and bring the federal government in on California like they've threatened to do under Prop 19. And when I'm talking to the hippies, yes, you can grow your own, yes, you can share it, yes, it protects medical marijuana, yes, you can get a little micro business license and set up your own little micro brewery of cannabis if it passes. And even more so, it gives the legislature the opportunity to make some changes to improve it, but it can never again make marijuana illegal in California. And this is a big deal to me. And I worked with a guy named Jack Harris, some of you may have heard of. So in 1989, we wrote an initiative we called the California Hemp Initiative, and it did those same 4 things. And Jack and I trudged around the state for quite a few years. And the thing I got to tell you about Jack is he always said, it's going to be the voters who change this law. It's not going to be the politicians, except for Nate. But he says it's not going to be the politicians. And when I look at the drug war, California last had a major reform of its laws by the legislature in 1976, 40 years ago. The only other change, and that Bill will correct me on this, I'm sure, on non-medical use of marijuana is that they changed, just as Prop 19 was on the ballot, they suddenly dropped possession of an ounce from being a misdemeanor to being an infraction with the same penalty. That's what they've done. And so I trust them to improve things. The legislature gave us SB 420, the collective system. The legislature gave us MCRSA, which has a regulatory scheme for the medical use. But I don't trust them to start the ball rolling. I trust you guys to do this. And we have to get enthusiasm. If we win with this 51%, then we're going to walk into the legislature and say, here's what we want. And they're going to say, yeah, and here's what the Teamsters want. Here's what the alcohol lobby wants. Here's what the narcs want. But if we walk in there with 60%, 70% yes, we're going to walk and say, here's what they want. And they'll say, well, how high should we jump while we're voting yes? Yeah. And so what we're doing here is we have to move forward and get the paperwork out, get the stories out, get people to understand this. A lot of people don't even know it's on the ballot. But we have literature. We hope you'll take some with you when you leave and get it to other people. We hope you go ahead and donate to this, because we're going to, Drug Policy Action has helped us out to go around the state telling people about this initiative, and we'd like to raise some money back for Drug Policy Action, and Amanda's going to tell you more about how that works, okay? But I just want to say thank you for being here. Help me pull this thing over the line. I have a bet riding on this, and it's 30 years old, and I want to win. And so, okay, so why don't we have George? Where is George? George is circulating around here.
Come on.
I don't have
Speech, George, speech.
George Zimmer, ladies and gentlemen.
What I want to say was just said by Chris about the size of the victory, that I think everybody knows right now that we're very likely going to win in 5 weeks from Tuesday. Election undecideds usually decide the last 2 or 3 weeks. So we're still actually early. But that last 2 weeks, if we can generate, not standing anybody's positions on Hillary or Trump, people to go out and vote to support this initiative, not to mention there's a death penalty initiative on the ballot, 2 of them, in fact, that provide a stark contrast. It'll probably help Hillary, but even if it doesn't, it would be great to have marijuana proclaimed in the state of California as just part of the pharmacopoeia.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, this is Lauren Basquez. She's working with the official campaign. So,
And working very closely together.
Yeah.
she's on our team. She's a friend of Prop 64.
That's the reason that I wanted to speak, was because while I get to work on the campaign, what I get to do just about every day is work with Mickey and Chris on what is my dream to change the marijuana laws, to make us all free, to make us equal. And I just really want to thank Mickey and Chris for everything that they have done over the last few decades, for being our heroes and for being our friends, for standing up for legalization, even against our own people when they had so much to lose. And being their friend is a great honor, and it's a privilege to get to work with them every single day on this campaign. And so I just want us all to show them that appreciation and say thank you to Mickey.
Yeah, Lauren's been great too. It's wonderful to have an ally like her, and we do want everybody to get the Friends of Prop64.org website. Come to our Facebook. We have some videos and stuff, like one that's called Yes on 64, which is.
And I might show it later today on YouTube.
But before we get too much of that and into the music, and our friend Paul Burton is here to help us with that. Amanda Ryman is with Drug Policy Action and the Californian
Council for Responsible Marijuana Reform.
Okay, so she'll, this is Amanda Ryman, a dear friend, a wonderful activist, and she's going to tell you about the political angle there.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see all of you. I know many of you, and I've been working on this issue with many of you for quite some time. I'll have to say that probably the biggest contribution I've made in this is bringing Mickey and Chris on to do the state outreach, and that's probably, I mean, it's just, I'm going to tell you again, I mean, to have folks like this who know so much and have built so much respect in the community to come out and to be able to talk so freely and openly about why we need this. This is what you all need to do also, and a lot of you already do that, but this is what this is about. Right? It's about going and having that conversation with your neighbor or your friend or your family member and just asking them where they're at on this issue. And if they know about Prop 64 and if they're planning to vote for it and how they're going to vote. Because in these last couple weeks, a lot of information is going to start coming out. You know, we really haven't even seen the opposition show their face here in California. We know that there's been some money donated, and we expect to start hearing attack ads and seeing attack literature out there talking about how dangerous marijuana is and how legalizing it's going to be bad for Californians and bad for kids and bad for public health. So now all of us need to band together so that we're ready to take on these messages and so that we prepare our friends and family with the information that they need in order to be ambassadors for this cause. And so, you know, as we sit out here in this beautiful location with this lovely cannabis that's growing around and passing around, sometimes it's really hard to remember that cannabis is still illegal in California. And the truth is that for many of us, our lives are not going to change that much on November 9th. Now, maybe if you have a felony conviction for cannabis, your life could change a lot on November 9th. And if you have loved ones in jail, their lives and your lives can change a lot on November 9th. But you know whose lives really stand to change on November 9th? Folks who live in parts of California where cannabis is still very criminalized and where even the odor of marijuana is a reason for cops to stop mostly young men of color, take their IDs, run them, and see what they're doing. Those are the folks that need cannabis legalization the most. And so today, I really ask for your support. I know many of you have donated, and we absolutely appreciate that. But this is really the dire time. This is the make or break time. Because if we don't win, and we don't win big, it's not going to mean as much for those communities, for our message to be, we no longer will stand for individuals to be criminalized because they consume cannabis. And the louder we can make that message, the more they're going to have to listen. We'll have the law on our side, but we still have a huge culture to change. So I look forward to changing that culture with you. I look forward to your support, and I look forward to your vote on November 8th. And we'll be passing around these forms. If you're interested in making a donation, you can fill these out We can accept checks made out to CRMR. We can accept cash up to $100, and we can accept credit card donations as well. So again, very much appreciated, and I absolutely look forward to coming back here after November 9th for your next party. I can't imagine how there'd be more cannabis, but maybe there'll just be a different spin on the cannabis that we already have. Oh, I mean, it's the... Yeah. All right, that's it. It's 4:20.
What about Dale?
Oh, does Dale want to say
Yeah, Dale, you want to say a word? Okay, California Normal is in the house.
Woo!
Ellen,
Ellen, you want to say something?
Yeah.